Ready, start. Ladies and gentlemen, I have great pleasure in extending to you a cordial welcome to the 10th annual general meeting of the shareholders of the company and place before you the report of the directors and the audited balance sheet for the year ended 31st March 1982. These have been circulated already, and with your permission, I shall take them as read and would proceed to review the salient features of the year's operations. Curiously enough, production and profits are running in opposite directions, and profits and decline year by year. Decline in profits is largely due to the fact that production costs have increased and show to no signs of decline, whereas there is a ceiling on the prices of paper. The present satisfactory working results are due mainly to increased production and operational efficiency. It should be recalled that the Government of India, on the recommendations of the Tariff Commission, fixed prices in 1981, which were disappointing on the repeated representation of the industry. Government of India granted an increase, and it would be seen that this slight increase did not meet the demand of the situation. The representative of the industry have been making repeated requests and appeals to the government of India, and have also presented their case supported by facts and figures. I take this opportunity again to repeat my appeal to the government of India immediately to take steps to issue revised price list, lest the incentive for some expansion or progression in the country should disappear altogether. Turning to the balance sheet, I have to state that depreciation on fixed assets calculated in accordance with the rates allowed for normal depreciation and extra shift allowance as per Income Tax Act has been provided. No provision is required for taxation as the company no assessable income for the year on account of development rebate allowance. However, provision has been made toward tax on dividend as per the Finance Act 1964. Your directors have carefully considered the question of granting additional staff benefits in the light of the recommendations of the Staff Welfare Committee, whilst the Board of Directors have always been pursuing an enlightened personal policy. It has at the same time to keep in mind the interest of its shareholders and the ways and means position. In view of the present financial stringency, the management has deferred the implementation of these recommendations.